Hit it.
I can do that all by myself. Stop now, you're driving me crazy. Leave me alone.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the 125 Roller Coaster Challenge Trimmed and Stable podcast and live feed here. I greatly apologize here. StreamYard decided that you don't need to go back to the beginning of the song. So instead of us having that amazing intro that we had for so long, guess what? You got right in the middle of the song. I'm going to play it one more time here. So StreamYard, if you're having some issues, definitely please show me how to do that. If you know how to fix that with StreamYard, definitely let us know in the comment section here. But real quick here, this is the Trimmed and Stable podcast here. And we're going every week, 7 o'clock, right here on YouTube, Facebook, and of course, Twitter, which is also X or whatever else Elon wants to call it here. Now, we're doing something a little bit different here. We did a couple of these last year with Legend over at, In the Loop. We had Chris over from Airtime Thrills. And today we actually have Katie from Katie's Coasters. We're going to add her in real quick here. Add to stage. Hello, Katie.
Hey, guys.
Hey, so it's great to have you here. Now, if you're not familiar, Katie's got a YouTube channel, kind of like we do, but her stuff is a lot more vlog-based. So I'm going to let her actually talk a little bit about her YouTube channel and what her goals are and some of the things that, make people going. She has like 3 times more subscribers than we do. So he is kicking our butt. So take it away, Katie.
Hey, everyone. So I'm Katie here from Katie's Coasters. And like you said, I have a YouTube channel and I also have an Instagram page where you can follow and subscribe to me on both of those. But on my YouTube channel, I focus a lot on theme park and roller coaster videos. Obviously, I like to do a lot of vlogs from the parks and just review, ride the coasters and bring out the parks in a positive way to you guys. And yeah, I just like doing that, going traveling in the country and riding coasters. Pretty awesome.
And the main reason that we're doing this today is we want to talk about our top 5 amusement parks. So the one thing I've noticed about coaster enthusiasts and amusement park enthusiasts is we like to rank things. For some reason, we're always ranking what's your top coaster, what's this, what's that, what's your worst coaster.
Yeah.
So much so that people like Airtime Thrills have an entire channel based on the rankings.
Yes.
So I figured, we might as well kick this off here. Now, if you're familiar with the 125 Roller Coaster Challenge, we did a few of these last year, and basically we're going to go through our top list. We haven't seen it. We have an idea of what each other like, but we're going to go through our top 5. We're going to have an honorable mention because I watch Mojo, and they always seem to do that too. So I figured, they know what they're doing. They got like 5 million subscribers a day. So then after that, if you're familiar with the Break One Talk, what we'd like to do with that was the quick hits. Katie has no idea what I'm going to ask her. So if you like reaction videos, we may have some reaction videos today here. So starting off real quick here, I'm working on the graphics here. I'm still learning all this kind of fun stuff here. As you can tell, I messed up our intro completely. I will be going through the user manual or a YouTube video to find out what's going on there. But we're going to kick it off with our 5th amusement park. Katie, take it away. What is your 5th amusement park?
Okay, so this list took me a while to make. It was actually harder than I was expecting, but my top 5 theme park / amusement park that I've been to is Six Flags Great Adventure.
Great Adventure, that is a good one. Now, I can tell you that one may or may not be on my list, but why is it for you?
It is just such a special park, and honestly, I think they have one of the best coaster lineups in the country. They just have everything that I love. I mean, King Ka's there, so of course it's incredible, but they got Jersey Devil, El Toro, Nitro, a good floor list, just everything's so good. I love it.
We used to, and Janine and I would always go there. We would always do the O's. El Toro, Bizarro, and Nitro. Now, of course, Bizarro's out Medusa, so it doesn't work as well, but that was always what we did. Now, sounds like you really like King Ka. Tell me why you like King Ka.
I love King Ka.
See, I'm on the opposite side of the fence of that.
Yeah, so
pony.
So it used to be my number 1 coaster for ever. It was just everything I wanted in a coaster from start to finish, the adrenaline rush that I couldn't get on anything else, especially in the front row, the speed, the height. It was just the most extreme thing I've ever ridden, and I still really love it. It's such a special coaster for me. It's so good. I love it so much.
So I've done it a few times, and the one thing I noticed, and I might be in the minority here, but it does hit that speed, and it hits it hard. But
it's so intense.
But I think Storm Runner is more intense because of how short it is. Storm Runner to me seems to be more intense. Every time I go in Kingda Ka, when we're getting ready to go up the vertical, I'm always like, do we have enough juice? Are we going to make it? And I haven't had to roll back yet, but every time I get up there, it like creeps over, and I'm like, but when I get on Storm Runner, it's like pow, and then you hit it,
You're
and
right, yeah.
because it's shorter.
Probably because of the height, yeah.
Yeah. Now we're going to talk a little bit later about new rides there, but Cedar Point's doing a little change there. They're clone there. So now my number 5 is a cop out. It's a simple cop out. If you know where I am geometrically, there's 3 parks, technically 4, but we don't park in Wonderland. All right, let's be honest. So there's 2 parks near me, and it was torn. So Knoebels has that old-timey feel, and it takes you back in time, and it has a great Woodies. Dorney Park, our episode with the podcast was called Cedar Fair's Redheaded Stepchild. It just never gets any love. It's kind of like Charlie Brown, all rats. It never gets anything cool. And then I got Hershey Park. So I figured one of these 5 had to be it. And when push came to shove, mainly because of the RMC, Hershey Park's number 5. So what do you think about Hershey Park? I know that's, I think, also your home park, even though you travel.
Yes, it is my home park. For the longest time, I really was not a fan of Hershey Park. And everyone thought it was weird because I was like, everyone said it was like the best park because they have Sky Rush and they have like one of the best coaster lineups. But for me, I was like, they don't have a main coaster that makes me want to visit this park. I was like, sure, they have good rides, but they aren't like the biggest or the baddest or the most intense out there. But let me tell you, when they got Wildcats Revenge, that changed everything. I will go to this park every day if I had to.
Yeah, that ride definitely put them on the map there. Now, for me, it was funny because when we started the 125 Roller Coaster Challenge, our first 2 rides were Wildcat. Number 1 ride was Wildcat because I thought that was great back then. And number 2 was Trailblazer because that was my first coaster. My daughters, both of them, their 2 coasters, first coaster too.
Nice.
But then as I started going to other parks, I started being like, yeah, Hershey does. Yeah, no, that's not good. Why is everybody miserable working at Hershey? But I go to Six Flags America that everybody hates, but they're so happy. And, and I've worked throughout that park many times. So I've seen it as a vendor. I've seen it as an employee. For years, I used to be an usher. So I got to all the free shows at the Giant Center, Bears hockey and stuff. But Hershey has been cleaning up their act. I've noticed a few things that they're doing. In particular, their new membership kind of thing they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
It's still called passes, but with the monthly payments, it's kind of a membership now.
Yeah.
We can definitely talk a little bit later about Hershey's newest thing. I thought king size was the biggest bar you can get, but now they're going giant. So that's Hershey. Bigger's better. But Hershey did get in there. The difference between Dorney, Knoebels, and Hershey for me is the ride lineup. Like I said, they got 3 Intamins. All of them are very unique. They never made no Sky Rush, which is probably a reason for that.
Yeah.
And then you've also got, Fahrenheit, which is like a Gerstlauer on crack. And then you got Storm Runner, which we talked about earlier. So my number 5 would be Hershey Park. All right, number 4. I'll go first this time because there's a lot of hate for this one. All right. So I felt like I needed a Six Flags park. And the easy one to pick would be Great Adventure. That's my home park there. Maybe Magic Mountain, maybe Georgia. I really love Georgia. But there's a park that I've been going to a lot because of Devin being up there in the great Western New York area. And I basically gave it away. It's Six Flags Darien Lake. And no, they don't have the best ride lineup. Not even close. But they have a really solid water park. And every time I go there, I just have a good time. And apparently other people are interested too. It's either they like, they like watching a train wreck. So they watch our videos to see what the hell are they doing up there in Buffalo, Rochester area. But there's some of our most popular videos. And the park, just every time I go there, I have a good time. And when it's all said and done, isn't that what the parks are about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know probably you've never been to Darien Lake.
Not yet.
It's kind of like a Knoebels. It's kind of, you're driving, there's an amusement park here. They have a clone of Superman, like they have over at Six Flags America, same ride. Yes. The original is at Darien Lake. Ooh. I remember when I was at Six Flags America, there's all this straight track. I'm like, why the hell is there so much straight track? Yeah. It goes over water at Darien Lake.
Ooh.
So, yeah. So that's why you're kind of like, why am I going?
I got to visit now.
So that's kind of neat there. They have Predator. Now, Predator, a lot of people hate, but they're doing the Titan track on it. And it's really improving it. It's really improving it a lot. They're doing different sections. So it's like, ow, 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 ooh, ow, 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 ooh. So it's one of those things. But they do have a Mind Eraser, which, yet again, one of the worst things ever made. Tantrum, I guess, was one of their newest ones. But for me, number 4 has got to be outside the box, and it's Six Flags Darren Lake. So what's your number 4?
Okay, so we're going back to Six Flags again. I wasn't sure these last two how to rank them, but number 4 for me is Six Flags Magic Mountain.
I've never been there. Tell me about the Magic Mountain.
Magic Mountain is just incredible. It's like half overwhelming. There is so many coasters, every single kind of coaster basically, just in one park. Now, when we went, like a good bit of them were closed, unfortunately, so we didn't get to ride like Goliath, and we didn't get to ride the stand-up, which, I mean, I don't care about. We didn't get to ride the floor.
Stand-ups are stand-ups.
Yeah. What?
Stand-ups are stand-ups.
They're terrible.
At their time, they had their place.
Yes, exactly. But we had a great time there, though, still. And actually, my favorite from the park is not X2. Just putting that out there.
Oh.
My favorite is actually Twisted Colossus. It's honestly a super good, underrated RMC. I just love the layout, and especially when you duel, there is nothing like that experience. It is incredible.
I don't think there's another dueling RMC yet. So
no.
It's one and done there. Now, it's a Morbius track, right? So you're on the green side, and then you go to the blue side.
Yeah.
Versa. So it's a Morbius track like a racer over at Kennywood. So.
Oh, yes. Because I'd never watched the POV before I went, and when I wrote it, I was like, wait, what's happening? And I'm like, we're going again? What?
Exactly.
It was
now,
so cool.
I understand it doesn't race often, though.
No.
Well, so,
I heard that, too. I was lucky to get 2 duels. I was like, whoa.
Now, I'm hoping to get out there next June. My daughter Kylie is getting married out there in California. I have to do the math, figure out, okay, where are you getting married at, and how far am I from here? So, but I'm hoping to go out about a week early and hit a lot of the California parks there. I've never actually, I think the farthest west I've been is Missouri.
Oh, okay.
So the fact I have 362 coaster credits means I do a lot of baby parks.
Yeah.
So I've been on way too many, what are those things? Wacky Worms.
Oh, yeah. We love those.
Right. So what's your number 3 then, if you're going with Magic Mountain?
Okay. Number 3 is the one and only, the roller coaster capital of the world, Cedar Point.
Can't beat Cedar Point. Cedar Point.
So good.
Now, were you there this year? I never made it out there this year.
I was there like 6 visits already this year. A lot.
Wow.
But it's Cedar Point. I love it. It's special. They may not have the best of the best coasters of all time anymore, but they got a solid lineup, at least what I think. And it's just so special. I love the location, how it's like on a beach. It's like so pretty. I like it. But
the toughest part for me with Cedar Point is one of our most popular videos are the Explorers, where I come in, I don't study it. I mean, I've been to Cedar Point, so I know it pretty well, but I just walk it and talk it. And I'm thinking that's going to be a 2.5-hour video because that park's so damn big.
Yeah.
So, and we always count the Dippin' Dots. So there might be like 800 Dippin' Dots by the time we're done. So, but I know next year we're talking about they're refurbing. We're going to call it refurb. And then how's the new mouse? Was that whole
it was actually really fun. It's not like your ordinary Wild Mouse, but it was like super smooth. And honestly, some moments were kind of intense, but like it was really fun. For what it was good.
I'm really excited because that part of the park, I'm older than you.
Yeah.
And I was there when they actually had the sports, the bike show that was there in that theater. So they took out that theater. I know at one point it used to be an aqua theater. So they took that whole section out there. So that section was pretty much, you're familiar with Demon Drop at Dorney, right?
Yes, yes.
It was there. It was right where Gatekeeper was for years, that Demon Drop.
Wow.
So, so there's been a lot of changes to that section. So it looks like now they finally give it a permanent theme, which is exciting.
And I love the Grand Pavilion. The whole vibe there for the boardwalk is actually really nice. So, yeah.
So I'm definitely looking forward to it there. I wasn't able to get out there this summer. I was able to go out to Kings Island because I had a wedding in Kentucky, but I just wasn't able to move myself north. So technically, instead of Cedar Point, I got Camden Park. So that was not an even trade-off at all. All right. That wasn't even close.
No.
So my third one is a park that is one of the main reasons why I opened up a branch office in Tampa. Busch Gardens, Tampa. I just love everything about that park. It has to tell you off the bat, number one for me is Gwazi. Yes, I've ridden everything but Airy Force. I haven't been on Airy Force, so Airy Force
Okay.
might beat it. But for me, Gwazi beats Steve every time. I just love how the animals are pretty much interacted into it.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, Cheetah Hunt goes over the Serengeti section.
Yeah.
Great food. It's a very easy layout. Some of the top rides, Montu is just, for me, the best inverted I've ever been on. So
It's so good.
Montu. Cheetah's pretty good. Shikwa was the original dive coaster in the United States. So they've got a lot of different things there. Hopefully, I know they took out Sand Serpent, which has been dragged around everywhere. It used to be at Busch Gardens Williamsburg years ago. So that's gone. So I'll be curious to see what they're going to do with that area. And I'm hoping the rumors are not true and Kumba survives, because I know there's been a lot of talk about Kumba maybe not going. I was on it in March this year. I am going back to October, November. I have weddings out there. So I always stay at the hotel right across the street. So they have a shuttle so I can partake in adult beverages and not have to worry about driving a rental car home. Hey, Steve, pick me up. All right. Drag me back there. So for me, that is, oh man, I'm messing up on the banners. There it is. All right. It's only going to be a split second though. But yeah, for me, Busch Gardens, Tampa is there. So I'm going to do my number 2.
Okay.
My number 2, this park, since the beginning of the 125 roller coaster challenge, every time I go to this park, I'm just happy. And it's Kings Island. I love Kings Island. It's got a great coaster lineup. Banshees is my favorite. Well, not favorite invert, but it's definitely a top 20 ride for me. Mystic Timbers is an amazing ride. Diamondback has been growing on me. I've been loving it more and more.
It's so good.
Orion is completely underrated. Coaster nerds, if you're watching or you're watching later, shut up about Orion being.
It's good.
It's a good, solid ride. Not everything has to be Fury. Not everything has to be.
It rivals Fury, though. I rode in the front row this year. It literally rivaled Fury. I was like, what? Great.
So here's the sad thing. So I had a wedding in Kentucky. So the day before I got there, 5.5 hours at Kings Island. Did not ride a ride. I filmed it. I did an explore. I did the unplugged. I did the water park. And when I got home, I didn't have my stabilizer on and everything was bouncing and I had to dump it all.
Wow.
5.5 hours at Kings Island. Did not enjoy the park. I worked the entire park and I lost all the footage. I have a couple shorts that are salvageable. One will be coming up this week. But yeah, the only thing I got was right here on my arm. There it is. Right here on my arm, I got 2 white marks. And I figured out because I was walking around the park like this. So that was in shade. Everything else was sunburned. So I love you, Kings Island, but I did not get to enjoy Kings Island. But some of the friendliest staff, great food offerings. The Brady Bunch was filmed there, same with the Partridge Family. So it's got a little bit of history. Racer is still historic. The new section is very nice. They have over by Adventure Express. They actually rethemed that whole little area there, put in 2 new flat rides. Really well done for an area that was basically just walking through. So yeah, on all, my number 2 is Kings Island. What is your number 2?
My number 2 almost rivaled my number 1, but then I thought about it and I was like, no, number 1 deserves number 1. So my number 2 is Universal Islands of Adventure.
Good park. I've been there once. I've only been there once, but I'm hoping to get back there. So what's your favorite ride there? Are you
Velocicoaster?
Or are you
Actually, when we went back in March, Hagrid's was closed for maintenance from the hurricane, which I was so sad about, but I was like, it's okay, I'll be back. But Velocicoaster took my number 1 spot. It took my breath away. It is just the most complete, perfect coaster out there, in my opinion.
I like it a lot, but I only got 1 ride because when I went, I thought it was a Monday, so I thought nobody would be there. It ended up being President's Day, so everybody was there. So I guess they have either 4 or 6 trains that go.
Okay.
And 1 train wasn't operational, which meant it took out 2 trains because they have to go somewhere. So it was down to 2 trains operations there. So I got 1 ride on it, and I was impressed. It's definitely a top 5 coaster.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, when I look at that, I kind of look at the layout, and I kind of think like, Intamin was like, "Hey, RMC, can I see your homework here?" Okay. It looks like it's RMC
Intamin.
on an Intamin. So
I
it's
can
more,
see that. Yeah.
But when you see like the barrel roll drop at the end and all that stuff, you're kind of like, yeah, I saw that before. Now I'm one of those weird guys. I really like the cartoon area. That's where I go to eat Dagwoods.
Oh yeah.
I just love that. I guess I grew up with Kathy and Beetle Bailey and all that stuff. But I know they're talking about flipping that out. And the thing that kills me is they're going to get rid of the Lost Continent eventually. And that was such a unique world. And I'm not a big fan of IPs. And the fact that Harry Potter just kept coming in, more room, a little bit more room, a little bit more room. And the only B&Ms ever taken out were Duel and Dragons. Every other B&M, the original B&M is still at Six Flags America.
Wow.
The only B&Ms that were ever that been decommissioned are those two, Duel and Dragons.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think Hulk is really good too. It's my second favorite B&M behind Fury. Like, it is so intense. I love the launch, the whole theming, the vibe.
The single rider lane. That was the benefit that day.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, well, of course it's in the title. So, all right. So if you ever watch Mojo, which I think everybody does because they have so many subscribers, they always have honorable mentions before the big one there. So do you have an honorable mention? Is there a park
I do, yes.
What is your honorable mention?
Okay, so I already mentioned it in my top 5, but it's just so special to me. I've been here a lot, and I never can get enough of this park. It is Six Flags Great Adventure again.
Really? You're doubling up on Great Adventure.
Yes, it's so special to me. I love the lineup, like I said. The park's just so special to me. I met so many friends there in my early days as being an enthusiast or whatever you call it. But yeah, I love it so much, and it's so special.
Well, for me, my honorable mentions are two parks that are not a top park. All right. I'm not going to even pretend to think they're top parks, but they're two of the Gene staples that saved. And it's Clementon Park in New Jersey and Niagara over in, basically Niagara Falls area, Grand Island. So if you go to our channel, we're there a lot. And it's ironic to me because he came out of nowhere, the guy from Indiana Beach, and saved both these parks. They were both abandoned. I mean, if you saw Niagara, it was graffitied over, it was boarded up, it was dead. And seeing in the last 2 years what Gene Staples has put into both of these parks, getting Hellcat going, Silver Comet is simply amazing. One of my favorite wooden coasters over there. But the reason why I'm doing the honorable mention here, guys, you got to show up. This guy saved it, and everybody's, yay, team, go team. Show up. Give these parks some love. When I go there, they're kind of dead. I went on Father's Day 2 years in a row to Clementon Park, and it's bring your father in for free, and it's still walk on lines. Guys, got to support these parks if you want them for future generations. The guy's dumping a lot of money into this. I have hats. I have T-shirts. I have the whole 9 yards. I have a beach blanket. I never go to water parks, but I have a beach blanket for Clementon. Support these parks. They're definitely worth it. Are they Great Adventure? No. Are they Kings Island? No. But they're small regional parks, and these are disappearing. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why Knoebels is such a rarity, is because it's a park that the community does support. Yes. They go there every time it's mobbed. Meanwhile, you go to Clementon Park, it's walk-on. You go to Niagara, it's walk-on. Support these parks, show them some love.
Yes.
All right. With that being said, Katie, what's your top?
My number one park. Okay.
Disney, I'm shooting you down right now. I'll cancel right now if it goes Disney.
It's not Disney.
Okay,
but if you guys follow along with me on my channel or my Instagram or any socials, once I visited this park, you guys know how much I fell in love with it.
I mentioned it before, didn't I?
Yes.
See? I am not just somebody who brought up. I am a fan of her channel, people.
Thank you. Yes, go support me and him. But it is Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. It's so good.
It's a great park.
It is.
I've only was able to spend a half day there. I had a crazy bride, and I literally had to drive back that day from Branson all the way back to Central PA to deal with that headache.
Oh, my.
But, it's got a great lineup. I mean, it's a time traveler, which there's no other time traveler type ride out there.
Exactly.
It's an amazing ride.
It's so good. So re-rideable.
Yes. What's the RMC?
Outlaw Run? Yeah. I personally don't like that one, but
it's a little rough. It was rough when I was there 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So actually, I have a good story about that. So we were going to the Missouri parks, and Devin's a typical teenager at the time. I think he's probably 15 or 16. And so I ran to the back of the park to get on that before the crowds get there. Go to
Yeah.
the back, work your way back
Yes,
up.
exactly.
So I get there. There's no line. I get on it, and then Devin's like, "Okay, I'm done." And I looked at him. I'm like, I drove this far here. I'm marathoning this. I went to the gift shop operator. I say, "Listen, he's going to be here for about a half hour. He's not stealing anything. I just am dumping him here." And I marathoned it 6 more times.
Nice.
Oh, he was there on his phone just looking down, and I'm just like, no. I'm old. I could have a stroke tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm on this ride until there's a crowd. So
yeah, right.
But great lineup. Actually, you know which one really, to me, was a hidden gem was Wildfire.
I agree.
That's one that took me. I love Floorless, and just the setting with that whole.
It was gorgeous. Yeah.
You go over bridges, and you're kind of like, all right, it even though it's on solid ground, you feel like you're on the side of a mountain.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Yep, that was
awesome.
There. Yep. So I think that's about. Oh, Fire in the Hole's coming now, so they're refurbing that.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Which is like, okay, because Fire in the Hole to me was one of the most boring rides I've ever been on. Now it's always we have a countdown that we call ouch. The bottom 20. Yeah, the bottom 20. The ones that make you go ouch. And that's what that was there. All right, time for my number one park. Now this one, the three, Kings Island, Busch Gardens, Tampa, and this one always seem to alternate. But earlier this, probably in the beginning of August, I realized I've been to a ton of music parks this year, but I didn't really enjoy the parks. I was always filming. It was always, I got to get the film. I got to get to explore. I got to do this. And finally, I literally just said, you know what? I haven't been to this park yet. I'm putting the camera away. And it was Busch Gardens, Williamsburg.
Oh.
It's just a park that when I'm there, I just want to be there. I don't want,
I get that.
It's great. Apollo. And I was there so you're in my area. It's about a 5.5, 6 hour ride.
I know.
I drove 6 hours, stayed there for 5 hours, and drove 6 hours back. That's how much I love this park.
Wow. That's dedication.
Got up at 5, got there at 11, left at 4:30, got home at 10:30.
Oh, wow.
And all I did was ride. I got on Pantheon. I'm a member. I do have the membership, so I do get, front of the line pass sometimes.
Yes.
Dark Coaster, only got one ride on it because, of course, the Fast Pass doesn't work.
Yeah.
Newest one.
Isn't it good, though?
It's
so
good.
good.
It was surprisingly good. It had a lot of pickup.
I know.
The space that they had, because you got to remember, this was an old dark ride.
Yeah.
That, was off in the corner and stuff. But, yeah, the food. The one thing I love about the Busch Gardens SeaWorld parks is when they have a festival, they have a festival.
They go all out. Yeah.
And I was like, nice attempt, C+. But when you go, when you get the food tickets, I think I got the 20-pack once. I gave Kylie 10 and me 10, and she wasted 10 on food. And I'm like, what are you doing? Mine was an 8-to-2 ratio on alcohol. I went the opposite. I was like, the hash browns look good, but I'm going to have another one of those fruity drinks there. So yeah, for me, number one, it's got to be Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I just really love that.
I totally respect that. Yeah.
So all right. So that's what we got there. So Katie didn't know about this coming in. So she now knows about this. This is called the Quick Hits. So I started this last time there. I think I did it first with Gabby. So right off the beginning, Gabby from Coasters and Brews was our first guest ever. So I'm going to give 10 little topics that you don't know about. And you're going to basically let me know your answers. I'll interject because that's what I do. I don't shut up. Number one, what's your favorite coaster?
Favorite coaster?
Yep.
Velocicoaster.
Yep, you mentioned it before.
Yeah.
It's top 5 for me. Quick question. Where does Wildcats Revenge fit in that hierarchy? Yeah.
It's number... Let me think about this again. Hold on.
Because it's not a big scale one.
Top 5 somewhere. Hold on.
It's got a good kick.
Number 4.
Number 4?
Yeah.
I'll have to go through. It may be top 5 for me.
Yeah.
I like it better than Steve. I actually like it better.
I agree. I was surprised. I was like, no way, this is going to be better. It was better.
Years, my number 1 was Twisted Timbers.
That one's good too.
Smaller RMCs I enjoy more than the biggest ones. Now,
I am agreeing.
My favorite element on a ride is a barrel roll drop. So Iron Gwazi hitting that at 70 miles an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You got me. Hitting a barrel roll drop at 70. You got me. All right. Number 2. What's your top snack at a park?
Ooh.
Yeah, see, we diversify.
Dollywood cinnamon bread or the Hershey cinnamon bread.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
very good. For me, Dole Whip. I'm hooked on Dole Whip.
Ooh.
If you go to Knoebels, do not get the Dole Whip sampler unless you have a lot of friends, because you would think a sampler would be like small sizes.
Yeah.
No, they put 4 full Dole Whips on a thing. I can't get. I throw it away. It's sacrilegious to me.
That's crazy.
All right, number 3, Cedar Fair, Six Flags. Yeah,
Uh,
upgraded now because you are a Six Flags person there, and I am still.
I know.
Diamond Elite VIP still. They haven't gotten rid of that. Celine, don't get rid of my damn.
I say Cedar Fair just for the overall park experience.
All right. Disney or Universal?
Okay. I've been to Disney way many more times than Universal. For the thrill of it, Universal.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one's a tough one here, especially being near Philadelphia. Rita's or Dippin' Dots?
Dippin' Dots.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
it's not religious, man. Rita's every day. I actually drove to Rita's today to get myself a misto.
I love my Dippin' Dots.
All right, now we're going to go a little old school here. Tilden Whirl or Scrambler?
Scrambler?
Okay. Favorite log flume?
Wow.
Yeah, we go
I guess I
everywhere.
never ranked my log flumes.
Yeah,
I like the Great Adventure one.
Great Adventure one's pretty good there. For me,
It's pretty big.
I love Maury's because it goes under the boardwalk.
Oh, okay.
Maury's Pier's there.
Mhm.
But Dorney Park actually has a surprisingly good one. So.
Oh, I'll have to try that one.
All right. The coaster that you're most excited for in 2024.
Okay. Oh, Top Thrill 2.
Okay.
Duh. Yeah.
Dorney Park's finally getting some love. And they're
I
not
know.
getting a rebranded one from Worlds of Fun. They're actually
right.
getting something that, because you probably don't know the history, but that spot had Laser, it had Stinger, it had so many different rides over the years. It's about time they got something permanent in the corner. So, all right, here a little bit off subject here. McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's?
McDonald's, I guess.
Okay. By far the worst in the world. All right. And the last one on the quick hits here. What's your worst coaster?
Okay. I get asked this a lot, and I'm not sure of one main one, but Mind Blower, the original.
Mind Blower?
Yeah, at Fun Spot Kissimmee.
Okay. Yeah,
It was just rough, and I was like, I don't like this, so. Yeah.
It was definitely a teeth chattler, but I wrote it in March, and I think they refixed it in April and May.
Okay.
So I haven't been on it since. I may get down to Fun Spot, depending on how much, my daughter does all my flights, because she's like, I found one for $35. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm literally in the baggage department, so I don't know how this is supposed to work. But for me, it may not be the worst anymore, but Mind Eraser at Six Flags America cracked my jaw on the brake run. We were stopped at a brake run. I was talking to my friend. We started going into the station, and it went crunch right against my face. But with everything that's going on with that new section there, they're saying they're actually refurbing that ride.
That's what they say.
It may not be the worst anymore.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
All right. So anything else about your, what you got coming up video-wise for the channel?
Well, in the off season, I know that's been asked a lot what I'm going to do because parks are closed, obviously, and sad, depressing season for theme park enthusiasts. But I'm just going to be making and pushing out the best possible content that I can do, maybe some coaster and park reviews, because when it's the busy summer season, I'm just vlogging. That's all I'm posting, and I never really have time for reviews. So I feel like when things slow down, I'll have time to just review some coasters, review parks, and do some of that cool stuff too. Maybe Q&As. We'll see. Yeah,
that's what we're doing too. We're kind of we have the one takes, I call them, which are the explorers and all that. Yeah. I don't do those. I like to do those in the summer and the spring, because right now it's going to be all Halloween. So if somebody's watching this, it's not what the park usually looks like. But yeah, I'm looking to do more must rides and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We got a couple comments here. Basically, element of the ride. Kings Island is my favorite. Unpopular opinion, but Orion is greater than Fury.
I could see it. I respect that.
It depends on what you're looking for.
Yes, you're right.
Because that's the thing. A lot of people love intense, and some days I'm in the mood for that, and other days I just want a ride. Like Great Bear is a nice, relaxing ride.
It is.
It's not Montu. It's not trying to be Montu.
It's peaceful and fun. Just fun. I love it.
Exactly what it is. All right, so I'm going to pause you real quick here. I'm going to do a couple last minute things here, but once again, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, you're welcome.
There, this is a new concept. We're working on it every Tuesday at 7, but hopefully it keeps growing. And definitely, if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe to our channel.
Thank you.
And what I want to do real quick here, guys, is a couple quick updates on 125. As you can tell, I still got the horrible background. But the studio is being built. We're looking on some designs. I got to purchase a couple things, but that is still happening. Also, the giveaways. So we started doing giveaways at 1950, and every 10 we do a new giveaway. We've already given away 3. And at the time that I was looking at this, we were at 1976. Great year, by the way. I think it was a bicentennial there. But once we get to 1980, we'll be doing another giveaway. How do you win the giveaways? Very simple. We're going to be popping a poll up there. If you vote in the poll, either on Instagram or on YouTube, you're entered. We pick a name. Guess what? You win. And last but not least, I want to go over a couple of the videos. We're no longer doing daily. So with that being said, we have 4 that will probably be popping up soon. One on Camden Park, one on Gillian's Wonderland. Steel Pier is going to have one, and a Busch Gardens Tampa. So some are going to be POV, some are going to be Let's Play, all different times there. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you missed the live feed part of it, because I saw we've had a couple of people coming in and out, we're definitely going to be dropping it on the playlist for Break Run Talk and for Trim the Stable podcast. And tomorrow morning, guess what? If you're listening to Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts, guess what? It's going to be there too. So once again, this is Paul, 125 Roller Coaster Challenge. We want to thank Katie's from Katie's Coasters once again, and I can't wait to see you in the queue.